At first glance, this looks like a lesson in medicine. A doctor, a group of serious men, and a body placed before them. But Rembrandt hides the real drama somewhere else. Not in the faces. Not in the dark room. Not even in Dr. Tulp himself. The real mystery is this hand. Because this hand is supposed to explain how the human body works, it is the center of the lesson, the reason all these men have gathered around the table. And yet the more closely you look at it, the stranger it becomes. Is Rembrandt showing scientific truth? Or is he deliberately changing reality to create something more powerful than accuracy? The painting is times the anatomy lesson of Dr. Nicolaes Tulp, painted in 1632, when Rembrandt was only about 25 years old. It was a commission from the Amsterdam Surgeons Guild, and it could have been just another formal group portrait. But Rembrandt did not paint these men like statues. He turned them into witnesses. They lean forward, they search, they compare. Each face seems caught at a different second of thought. One man looks at the arm. Another watches the doctor's gesture. Another almost looks out toward us, as if inviting us into the room. And in the middle of this silent theater lies the hand. Dr. Tulp does not appear to be cutting. He appears to be explaining. With one hand, he holds the exposed structure of the forearm. With the other, he bends his fingers, almost as if he is saying, "When this part moves, the hand obeys." That is what makes the scene so modern. Rembrandt is not just showing a dead body, he is showing a system, a mechanism, a hidden connection between knowledge and movement. The body is still, but the lesson is alive. To understand why this mattered, we need to enter 17th century Amsterdam. Public anatomy lessons were not private medical classes. They were events. Students, surgeons, officials, and ordinary viewers could come to watch. Science, punishment, curiosity, and spectacle all met in the same room. The body in Rembrandt's painting belonged to Adriaen Adriaens, also known as Aris Kind. After his execution, his body was given to the Surgeons Guild for the annual anatomy lesson. So this hand is not just a medical object. It is the hand of a man whose life had already been judged by the city. And this is where the painting becomes uncomfortable. Aris Kind's face is half lost in shadow. He is present, but silent. The living men have names, status, collars, and authority. The dead man has only his body. But Rembrandt does something subtle. He makes the dead body brighter than everyone else. The pale arm almost glows against the black clothing around it. The men may control the lesson, but the body controls the painting. Look at the observers. They are not all looking in the same direction. This is important. In older group portraits, people often face the viewer directly, as if posing for a formal record. Rembrandt breaks that pattern. He turns the portrait into a chain of attention. One gaze leads to another. One gesture leads to the hand. The whole composition becomes a visual investigation. And we, the viewers, become part of it. There is a large open book in the lower right corner. In another painting, this book might have been the symbol of knowledge. But here, Rembrandt pushes it to the side. The book is present, but the hand replaces it. The truth is not locked in text. It is being demonstrated in front of us. The body itself has become the page. And Dr. Tulp is reading it aloud. But now comes the twist. For a long time, people noticed that something about this hand feels strange. Some researchers argued that the anatomy does not fully match what we would expect from a real dissection. Others suggested that the apparent mistake can be partly explained by the position of the arm. So, is Rembrandt wrong? Maybe. But maybe that is the wrong question. Because Rembrandt was not making an anatomy textbook. He was making a painting about knowledge, power, and performance. The hand had to be readable. It had to carry the story. It had to make the invisible visible. In other words, the hand may be less scientifically perfect, but more dramatically true. There is another strange detail. Technical research has shown that Rembrandt changed parts of the body while working. The right hand, the one resting near the edge, was not always exactly as we see it now. That means this was not simply copied from life in one clean moment. It was constructed, adjusted, staged. And that makes the central hand even more important. Rembrandt chose what to reveal, what to hide, and what to transform. So what are we really looking at? A medical lesson? A portrait of ambitious Amsterdam surgeons? A warning about death? Or the moment a young Rembrandt proved that painting could compete with science itself? The answer may be all of them. Because this hand is not just anatomy. It is the tool of the doctor, the criminal, the painter, the viewer. It is the part of the body that acts, steals, writes, cuts, points, creates. And in this painting, one dead hand gives life to everyone around it. That is why times the anatomy lesson of Dr. Nicolaes Tulp, times still feels so powerful. Rembrandt does not show death as an ending. He shows it as a question. So look again at the hand. Is it a mistake, a symbol, or the exact place where Rembrandt chose art over simple accuracy? Tell me in the comments which version you believe.